You know, there's an old saying, as a salesman, you're only as good as your product. You can only sell what you can sell. That's why good salesmen don't take jobs selling crappy products. The good salesmen figure out, can I move? Do I have an upside to the product? If you're selling heart medication in America today, as a pharmaceutical sales rep, you're going to make a lot of money selling heart medication. If you're selling stuff for toe injuries, it doesn't matter how good of a salesman. You're not going to sell much stuff. I've always believed in college football. Increasingly, warm weather is a big advantage. There's just more players in Florida, Louisiana, Texas, California than there is in Michigan, Maine, Washington, Idaho. Warm weather matters. And so what I've done for years is I've assigned every college program of note a number based on 12-game schedules. And the number I would give your program is based on, if you have the right coach, are you hitting the number? Michigan, to me, is a 10. That means out of 12 games, if you have the right coach, they should win 10 a year. I'm not going to say they should beat Ohio State. I'm not going to say they're going to go undefeated. They're in a state that has about 12 good high school football players a year. Georgia's in a state that has 243. Georgia's number is an 11. And also Michigan has to play 9 conference games. Georgia gets to play 8 in the SEC. That's another citadel. So I have a handful of teams in college football. I give the number. Nobody gets a 12. Nobody's going to go undefeated. I give about 7 to 8 teams an 11. Bama, LSU, Oklahoma. This is if you have the right coach. Oklahoma, Texas. Again, USC is the only program, Denver West, that should be 11. They're in a state with 240 high school football Division I players, and they have the biggest brand on the West Coast. My number for Michigan is somewhere between 9.5 and 10, and Harbaugh's hitting it. Jim Harbaugh took over a program averaging 6 wins. He's gone 10-3, 10-3, 10-3, 3 of his 4 years. 1 year he went 8-5. They had 3 quarterbacks play. Wilson Spate got hurt. He's hitting his number. My number for Michigan, the state has no high school football talent of note compared to Georgia, Louisiana, Florida, Texas, California. Even Ohio doesn't compare. Okay, Ohio State is the only northern program in the country I give an 11 to. Their state has a lot of high school football stars, and they're not the academic power. They're not academically as good as Penn State, Wisconsin, Michigan, or even Washington. And so I give Ohio State the number is 10.5 to 11. That's the Alabama territory. And I think if you've got the right coach, when Michigan's had the wrong coach, they get 8. They're averaging 10, 9.5 and 10. He's getting the number. Not all programs are even. Academically, Michigan's harder. The state, the weather, the geography. Northern teams don't get as many good players on recruiting day. Most kids would rather play close to home. I've been watching on the West Coast for years. USC with bad coaching staffs still wins the recruiting race over well-coached Washington teams. Nebraska, their number's 9. They're Nebraska. There's no players in their state. They have to convince every kid, want to play in 9 degrees? That's harder than LSU saying, hey, your high school's there, our stadium's here. You want to come play? Yeah, my girlfriend goes to LSU. Come on in. It's easier. And so, now, I do think Harbaugh deserves some criticism. Joel Klatt and I got into this yesterday. I do not think he has, despite winning 9.5, and I think he's hitting his number, I don't think he's done a good enough job at the quarterback position. Here's Joel Klatt. I'm a huge Harbaugh fan. He's got to own this offense. It's not getting better.
Well, that's interesting that you say that, because this is the least involved he's been with any of his offenses at any level. Jim Harbaugh handed the keys to his whole program offensively to Josh Gaddis, who had never called plays before in his life. And now this is Josh Gaddis's offense.
Sounds like you're throwing Josh Gaddis under a bus a little.
Am I?
No, it's everybody's like, so if it fails, Josh Gaddis, get him out of here. Hey, this is Harbaugh's team. I don't want to hear about some coordinator.
I don't disagree with that.
But if you're going to be Jim Harbaugh and make 7 large a year, then don't give me Josh Gaddis. I got no interest banging on Josh Gaddis. Guy worked at Home Depot last year, and now you're blaming the whole downfall on him. I got Greg Gaddis over here taking shots, Bob Gaddis over here. So I'll bang on Harbaugh for that. He's not done well enough as a former NFL quarterback. He's not done well enough at quarterback. That he deserves criticism for. But I give every college a number. Joy, you could throw a college to me. I'd give you Wisconsin's 8.5. And they overachieve. Paul Chryst gets you to 9. So that coaching staff is overachieving. Washington, the number's 8.5. Chris Peterson's getting a 9 and 10. They're overachieving. USC's number is closer to 11, and they're getting to like 7 and 8. You got to make a change. So everybody's got a number. I just put Michigan's number at 9.5 to 10 based on academics, weather, state. Harbaugh's hitting the number. I don't want to hear about Josh Gaddis, though. I'm over that Gaddis kid, the hurt.